far as I can bend.
That's fine. One of my goals in life is to stand in front of every single one of my favorite works of art, and I have a lot of them. Recently, I was able to do that with one of my absolute favorite paintings, the Arnolfini portrait, and today I want to tell you a little bit about that painting. This painting is full of symbolism and mystery, but when we start to uncover the mystery, it becomes more than just a picture of a man and wife. And so today we're going to look at some basic information about the painting. We're going to look at the symbolism within the painting, and then we're going to figure out who these people were. So first, let's look at some basic information about the Arnolfini portrait. This painting is located in the National Gallery in London, and according to the National Gallery website, it is an oil on oak painting, and its dimensions are 82 by 2 by 60 centimeters, and it was painted by a Dutch artist in 1434. The artist's name is Jan van Eyck, and so let's keep this in mind. 1434, this picture was painted. The official title of this painting is Portrait of Giovanni Arnolfini and his wife, the Arnolfini portrait. It's a really long title. According to a Clearinghouse article, they state that this is a pictorial wedding certificate of the married couple, but there's some debate on that we'll look at in a minute. There's a great deal of symbolism in this painting, and so we want to take a little bit of time looking at that symbolism. Okay, so we can argue that all art is symbolic, and that is true. Arnolfini portrait has so much symbolism in it, you really kind of have to have a roadmap to interpret it. There's a lot of religious and secular symbolism. We're going to start with the convex mirror, this mirror right here that's on the back wall behind the painting. It's framed with little medallions, and according to the State University of New York, each one of these medallions represents a scene from the Passion of the Christ. The mirror itself is also formed outward like a convex mirror, and it actually reflects the back of the couple. It reflects the actual painter in the mirror, and then a person behind the painter standing in the doorway looking in. That's amazing. 1434, this was painted, and he got that much detail. Other symbolism within the mirror is within the painting is the little dog, which represents fidelity or loyalty. The clogs that are taken off and put over to the side, representing them taking their shoes off. This is an event taking place on holy ground. According to the State University of New York and Clearinghouse both, they say that the single flame in the chandelier represents the all-seeing eye of God overlooking this marriage. The little oranges on the windowsill represent fertility, and the little statue of St. Margaret here on the bedpost also is the patron saint of childbirth. So obviously the couple had the goal in mind of having some children. You also see that Jan van Eyck actually signed his name in a non-traditional way in this painting. He signed it on the back wall like it's graffiti. He actually said Jan van Eyck was here. That's kind of funny. Okay, so now we know a little bit about the symbolism of the painting. Let's look about who these people were. First of all, Giovanni Arnolfini, there's several questions as to who he was, what he did. He was an Italian, but they lived in this Dutch area of Europe, and according to the National Gallery, Giovanni was a member of the merchant family. However, the other two sources that I found, that Clearinghouse article and the State University of New York, they say no, he's in the banking industry, so there's a little bit of dispute about what he did for work. His bride is Giovanna Cinami, so it was Giovanni and Giovanna. That's really cute. And the National Gallery, they say that this is not a wedding certificate, like the Clearinghouse article stated. They say instead it's just a portrait that was commissioned by a couple, probably done a few months after they were married. So this was a very common practice of people commissioning a portrait of themselves. The big question and the big mystery around this painting was the lady pregnant? A lot of people say yes, and you look at the way her dress is folded, you can see that there's definitely maybe some volume here. But the National Gallery says no, she was not. It was probably another way of promoting this idea that she wanted to be pregnant, to become pregnant. Back in those days, childbirth, child rearing was very difficult, and so that was the focus of a lot of couples, was having a lot of children. And so that kind of remains to be a mystery, but National Gallery says no. Okay, so today we briefly learned a little bit about the Arnolfini portrait as a painting. We learned about the symbolism within the painting, and then we've also learned a little bit more about the Arnolfinis themselves. So now we kind of know a little bit more about the painting. It's a little bit more interesting. It's more than just a picture of a man and wife, but there's still a lot of mystery behind it. But one thing I do know for sure is how it feels to stand in front of this 580-year-old painting, and I hope that one day you get the opportunity to do the same.